Hello, welcome to the Loopandbar podcast. My name's Kate and I'm coming to you from North Wales in the UK. That's Charlie coming in. I'll just shut the door. I knew that was going to happen. Charlie is my dog, if you don't know that already. I don't think you will have seen her. She's a bit low down now. I've got the camera on a tall tripod. I thought she was staying in the other bedroom. She's been watching things out of the bedroom window, but she's decided to come and join us. And she's just gone to sleep. She's promptly gone straight to sleep, so that's she's nice and comfy, so that's good. If you saw my previous episode, you will know that I'm going to Australia very soon. It's Sunday today, it's Sunday afternoon, and we are flying on Wednesday evening. So we've only got a couple of days really to get things ready. And so even though I've got absolutely tons that I think I need to get on with, I thought I'd do a podcast. It's just what I felt like doing this afternoon really. So I thought I'd fit in a quick podcast before we fly off. We're going to be away for a whole month, so there won't be a podcast for at least 4 weeks after this one. So that's why I wanted to just try and pop a quick one in before we go. I've got a couple of nice things to show you. A couple of things I've made, a little favourite object from my house. There's a possibility that we'll have a super special Welsh word not said by me in the podcast, hopefully. So look out for that coming up. I'll just have a little sip of tea. I've got some licorice tea today. It's very delicious. So, what shall I start with? I think I'll start with talking about the cal, the January cal that we're having in the Loopandbar, I forgot the name of my own podcast then, in the Loopandbar Ravelry group. It's because I always want to say Ravelry Loopandbar group, which doesn't make sense. So we're nearing the end of the January Try Something New cal, and it's been absolutely fantastic. We've had so much activity and input. We've had loads of new things being tried out. And from my point of view, I think one of the best things we've had lots of in the cal is encouragement, sort of experimenting and lots of help and encouragement coming from the other cal participants. Everybody's been so friendly and lovely towards each other, and I just think that's brilliant. That's why we do the cals. That's why I do the cals anyway. So thank you to everybody that's been joining in with the cal, and I hope you've all enjoyed it as much as I have. And I did open a giveaway thread, but I think by the time you are watching this podcast, the thread will have been closed and we will have drawn a winner. But it was obviously only open to the people in the cal anyway that have been participating throughout the month. So if that's the case, you will already know about that, and hopefully you will have entered if you wanted to. I'll briefly show you the prize. I showed you the soap last week because this is part of the same prize. There's one prize. I just kept it quite sweet and simple just because I'm about to fly off to Australia, so I thought I'd keep it sweet and simple. But I have made a very special prize because everybody's put so much effort into the cal. I wanted to put a lot of effort into giving something back as well. So obviously I didn't make the soap. But here is a beautiful soap, and I have shown this on the podcast before, but I'll just very briefly show it again. There we go. And it's a beautiful organic soap. It's wild fig and grape, and it's made by Art House in Meath. So that's lovely. Oh, it's beautiful. I'll have to get myself another one of these because it's really, really lovely. And in the spirit of the cal, the theme of the cal was to try something new for January, for the new year. whether it was a new pair of needles, a new pattern, a new technique, a new yarn, just something that was new to you that you hadn't tried before. And so for the prize, something that I haven't made before, I don't even know if I've ever made one before, but it's a tote bag. Obviously I've made bags before because I make them a lot and sell them in the Etsy shop, but I haven't had a go at making a tote bag. And this one is a fully lined tote bag with a zip pocket inside. So I'll just show you that because that's the Cal prize. And again, by the time you're seeing this, it might already belong to somebody because I've probably already drawn the winner. I'm drawing the winner tomorrow evening, so that will be Monday. What will the date be on Monday? The last Monday in January. I don't know what the date is today. I should know. Hang on, because I'm going on the 1st. It's about the 30th, I think. Anyway, tomorrow. And hopefully everybody who has entered will keep their eyes peeled in the chatter thread, so that you know if you've won the bag. And then I'll be able to get it in the post on Tuesday. That's going to be the only window of opportunity I'll have to post it, so I don't even know why I'm saying this because that will all have happened probably by the time you're watching the podcast. So anyway, I think I'm just telling myself what the plan is here. Here's the bag. Oops, I'll just do it so that the straps are in front so you can see. So I've made it with one of my favourite fabrics at the moment, which is this beautiful Girl Fishing. If I bring it closer, I can show you the pattern. And I'll stand back so you can see how big it is. I've made it with long straps because you've got the option, you can have it just like that, which is what how a lot of people carry the tote bags, but I like to carry my bags this way as well. So if you want to do that, you can carry it over your shoulder. And inside is a beautiful Tilda fabric. It's a floral. Oh. So there's the pattern on the inside, and it's lined all the way down to the bottom. And it has a zipper pocket. Now, does that show? Hopefully that will show. It's quite a generous. I'll just do that, and hopefully you can see that. It's quite a large size zipper pocket inside, so you can zip up a purse or something like that. So, of course, it can just be a very large project bag if you want to keep some knitting things in it. Or it can just be something you take out and about with you. Totally up to you. So, it was a really good thing to try. It's the first time I've tried making a tote bag. I'm pretty pleased with how it went, and I haven't made any notes on it, but I think I can remember because it's quite a simple construction, but I probably will write down the pattern. Because I might offer those when I get back from my holiday. I might start offering those in the Etsy shop as well as the project bags. So we'll see, hopefully. I think that's quite a nice thing. I think people do like tote bags as well as project bags, so I might make a couple of those and pop them in the shop. That'll be in March. March when I get back from Australia. Well, I'll just put the soap out the way. I'm taking deep breaths. I'm taking deep breaths today. Whatever it is that I'm allergic to on the farm is obviously in the air quite a lot today because it's making my breathing a little bit laboured again, which is a bit annoying. Hopefully flying to the other side of the world will help that and give me a break from having constantly swollen sinuses for a month, but we'll see. It'll be good if it does. I've written a little list of things that I wanted to tell you about my goals for 2017 after we come back. So I think I'll tell you those now because there's only actually 3 things. I think I thought of a lot of other things sort of previously in the last couple of weeks, but I started to jot them down before starting the podcast today, and there's a couple of things that I definitely have always wanted to do to have on my list of goals for this year. And I've just kept it to 2 or 3 because, well, I don't know why I said 2 or 3, there's 3 things on the list. Because there are lots of other things I want to do, but I don't want to set myself too many goals, so it doesn't mean by not saying them now that I won't do them. It just means I'm trying to be realistic, because what's on here is already quite a couple of undertakings, large undertakings. So my goals for 2017, this is just not, it's not really something I normally do, but it's definitely something that I'm going to try and achieve. I think it'd be a really good exercise to try. First and foremost, I want to build on the Etsy shop. So as I just mentioned, I'd like to put 2 or 3 different styles of bags alongside the drawstring bags in there, because I'm really enjoying making bags. I love bags. I love choosing and buying the fabric for them. I love all the interaction. I love the sewing. I love being in this workroom and actually making them. Usually I've got a podcast on in the background. It's really pleasant. It's a lovely way to work. And it's a lovely thing to do. So I want to build on that, and I want to do more of that. And that ties in with me aiming at making more time for myself to be working from home a little bit more in 2017, so that I am able to put more time into the Etsy shop. I'd love to think that I can, in the spring, after the holiday, I'll be able to spend some time making new bags and new stock, and I'd like to think that I can make quite a lot of stock, so that, you never know, I might be able to keep the shop stocked. That's a goal to work towards, definitely, and it's definitely not something that is, what's the word? It's fabulous that it's kind of good. It's really good in one way that I can't keep it stocked, because it means that people are really keen to buy the bags. So that's brilliant, and thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting the Etsy shop. Very much appreciated, as I always say in every podcast. But I would really love to be able to get more in the shop and keep more in the shop, so that the people, if you are missing out, if you've been looking and not being successful, if you haven't been able to find anything in the shop because it's getting sold quite quickly, I'm hoping that I can do a bit more, spend more time and keep that a little bit more stocked and give people a bit more of a chance. And maybe by offering several different styles of bags, that might be a way as well of some of them maybe staying in the shop a little bit longer, so that gives people a bit more of a chance. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. If you want to come along and snap it up quickly, you do that. I'm not complaining in any way, but I would love for more people to get the opportunity to purchase a bag if they want to. So that's one of my goals, to build on the Etsy shop. And it's not just bags, I'd like to put other things in the Etsy shop, handmade, Loopandbar handmade. I have some ideas floating around in my head, so I think I'll talk about that a little bit more in the spring, once I've started to sort of make those plans a little bit more, materialise a little bit more. So watch this space on the Etsy shop. Hopefully that's going to grow a little bit more over the next few months, so that's very exciting. The other thing I'd like to do for 2017, now I've wanted to do this for years, a couple of good, I'd say 2, 3, 4, maybe more years. I want to make, it's quite a simple one, but it's not. It's a simple thing to think of, but it's actually quite a difficult thing to do. I want to make myself a pair of trousers. I've wanted to make a pair of trousers for a really long time, and every year I say to myself, I'm going to make a pair of woolen trousers to keep me warm in the winter. I basically just live in jeans. Excuse me, I've just got a little itchy eye. I basically live in my jeans, which is okay for sort of, well, in the summer I wear shorts or skirts, or if it's cool I wear my jeans, but when it's really cold, in the cold winter months here, jeans aren't warm enough. They're just not for me. And I end up having to wear thermal tights underneath, especially if I'm at work, because it's chilly where I work at the moment. So I'd really love to make myself a lined pair of trousers. I've done dressmaking and I've done pattern cutting, and I've made tea dresses, which I've shown a little bit of in previous episodes of the podcast. So that's something I would like to sort of revisit and build my skills on a little bit more, and definitely make myself a pair of trousers. Possibly I might start by making a pair of shorts, because basically if you've got the construction of the tricky bits are the sort of fly and the seat, the pant seat part of it, getting that all the shape and the fitting of that right. So I've got several books on pattern drafting. It's just a case of me putting a few days aside, I think, to actually work on drafting out the pattern initially. And basically once you've got a pattern and you know what the construction is, that's it, you're away. You can just buy your fabrics and start making your wardrobe, really. So if I can perfect a really good trousers stroke shorts pattern to fit me really well, I'll be really pleased with myself, and then hopefully I can start adding to my wardrobe with a bit more handmade clothes. So, and then the other one, it's quite a small one. I just thought of it as I was sort of doing a little test record today. I am aware that when you're watching the podcast, there is a sort of a bit of white noise in the background, and I think that I'm actually not sure how I can eliminate that. I'd be very grateful if anybody knows. Basically, I record the podcast on a Canon G16 camera, just sitting on my tripod. At the moment I don't have any sort of microphone set up, and it's the other thing I'd like to do, because I can't see myself recording. I put a mirror, I just get the bathroom mirror and I prop it up behind the camera, which means I can kind of see, but it's quite far away, so I'm sort of guessing. I know I'm in the frame, but it's guesswork throughout the podcast, knowing whether or not I'm showing you things clearly and whether it's focusing. So apart from sorting out the sound issue and trying to get rid of that white noise, possibly with a microphone, if anyone knows, let me know. That would be great. I'd really appreciate some input. But I'd also like to somehow wire it up to my Mac, which is about a metre or so behind. And if I had a screen and I can see what I'm doing on the Mac, that would make things a lot easier, because it will make it bigger and I'll be able to see if I'm showing you things properly. So just a little bit of tweaking to make the quality of the podcast just a little bit better, hopefully. So yeah, that's it. That's 3 goals for me for 2017. There's loads of other stuff. I want to make everything. I want to try loads of new stuff. And I've got goals that aren't necessarily loop and bar related as well, sort of, out in the garden, and, various other things around the house. But I'm going to concentrate on those things, because I'd be really happy with myself if I can achieve the things that I've set on my list. So I might write that out really neatly and tape it to my wall above my computer to remind me what my goals are, and they're all things that can be worked on sort of gradually over the next few months. So, wish me luck with those. Now then, what have I got to show you? What have I been working on? I'm just going to show you my featherweight, because you haven't seen it for a very long time. I can't even remember where I was up to. Did I show this in the last podcast? I don't know. If I've shown you this in the previous episode, then I apologise for showing you it again, because I don't know if that's very interesting. If I haven't shown you it in the last podcast, then you'll see quite a change, although I say that, but I can't remember where I was last time I showed you. So I don't know if you'll see a lot of change or not, but there's no way this is going to be finished by the time I go on holiday, but I would like to be able to wear it in Australia, because it's lightweight. I'm wondering, I don't even know how warm it is or how hot it is there at the moment, but maybe I'll need it maybe while we're on the coast in the evening. If it's cool, I might need this cardi to put on. I'm not really sure, but I'm definitely going to need a layer like this to take with me. Also, I need knitting while I'm in Australia. I can't not knit for a whole month, so it's one of the whips that I'm going to take with me to work on and get finished while I'm actually away. So here's where I am so far. You can hear a clacking, by the way. I'll tell you what that is. It's this really brilliant sort of device that a lovely lady who lives in Australia sent me, Karen, and it's, I didn't know what it was when she sent me it. She sent me this really lovely package that I showed quite a few episodes ago with lots of really lovely things in it, and this is one of the things. And what did I think it was at first? I thought it was something to turn tubes of fabric through with, but it turns out it's to keep your circular needles in. And basically it's actually perfect for this project because I've got the sleeve on a short circular needle, which means I don't have to do magic loop, which means I like that for the sleeve. I'm preferring that, and it just makes sure that the stitches don't come off. That the stitches don't fall off the needles, and also it stops your needles from jabbing through things and jabbing through the bag. So that's really good. It's an excellent little tool to have in your toolkit. So I've got as far on the first sleeve. As you can see, I've knitted the whole of the body. Is it far enough back? And nearly the first full sleeve. There we go. And I've just started the rib, so I've done a few rows on the rib. The first few rows of the rib. Oh, I nearly fell off my stool. Gosh, I nearly fell into the camera then. It's a 1x1 rib that I've done at the bottom, so in case, I don't know if I've showed you this before, I probably have, but it was a long time ago. Things could clatter to the ground at this point. I drop my project bag on the floor. Here's the 1x1 rib. Whoops, sorry. Around the bottom. I'm probably showing you that too close. It's a bad habit of mine. I'll put that on my goals. Get better at showing things. Anyway, it's fitting really beautifully. Well, obviously I've still got to finish that sleeve, knit the other sleeve, and the button band, which even though it doesn't have buttons as such, there is a band that goes around the sort of across the front, no, up and down the front and around the collar. Haven't decided yet what stitch to use. I think people on Ravelry have used different stitches for that. I might stick with the 1x1 twisted rib because I really love the way it looks, and it will be consistent then with the rest of the cardigan. And what I've decided is I'm definitely, clanging, sorry, that is a great tool but it's noisy. I'm definitely going to put buttons on the front. No, not buttons, pockets, sorry. I don't know what. Pockets. I want to have pockets, nice big pockets, so that I can put things like tissues and lip balm, all the stuff that I need all of the time. So that is going with me to Australia in my rucksack. I'll just pop that back in the bag so it doesn't get all messy. So I need to cake up the other skein of yarn actually. I think I've got one full skein of yarn left. I hope that's going to be enough. I must remember to do that and then obviously have it in the bag with me. Have I got another whip that I'm taking? What's in there? Oh yeah, this is the other thing I thought I'd take. I've got a few whips and they're sort of lightish weight. I've got the Carpino that I'm still working on. I was going to show you that today, but I think I won't. I'll wait till the next time I work on it. I've got the Be Kind shawl, which would be a good one to take as well. But yeah, but I think I'm going to take this one because I can't take that much knitting. I can't take, basically it'll fill up my rucksack if I take all my whips, which is ridiculous. Yeah, and hopefully I'm not going to be sat around knitting all the time, as much as I love knitting. I'd like to think I'll be out adventuring with Evian, finding out all these lovely things about Australia. You know what just happened. So I've just put the camera back on record. So I'm going to take my Andrea's shawl. It's on a circular. It's on my Addy clips, and I'm not sure where the needles are. They're on another project somewhere, so I'll have to hunt around and find those. And also I'll have to hope that I've written down on the pattern what size needles I'm using, because I've forgotten that as well, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm sure I've written it on the pattern. Oh, it's going to be tricky to show you because I've taped the needles together. Perhaps I'll just take them apart for the purpose of showing you on the podcast. It's all twisted. So again, I haven't really made any progress on this since the last time I showed you it, but I haven't showed you it for a very long time. And seeing as it's one of my Australia whips, I thought I would just show you where I'm at right now. I'll move the little progress keeper because I'll move it to the spot where I am. But the thing is, I'm thinking possibly I might frog it back as far as the lace and incorporate some eyelets into the stocking stitch, because basically it's now just plain stocking stitch all the way. And I quite enjoy actually. Maybe I'll leave it like that because I do quite enjoy just knitting stocking stitch. That's something I'll have to make a decision on. I'm just looking at it now. The other slight thing that I'm not too sure about is its essential double decrease up the middle. And if you look at mine, I'm pretty sure that's wonky. I don't think it's going... doesn't look like it's going in the right direction. I think it should just be going north, but it looks like it's going a little bit wonkily to the side. So I don't think I'm very good at central double decrease. So I might need to have a look at that, and I might change the decrease in the middle, which means frogging it back to the lace, which I don't mind doing. That's fine because it's only stocking stitch. I'll frog it back to sort of like 1 or 2 rows above the lace. And I'll definitely, I think I'll definitely, which you can't say because that doesn't make sense. I'm going to put it out there. I'm definitely going to change the decrease. It'll be the same amount of decreases, but I think I'll do a knit 2 together, knit 1, slip slip knit, or it might be the other way around, whichever I can't speak, whichever way around it's supposed to go. But a paired decrease instead of this central double decrease, because I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that ridge going up the middle of the shawl. It's okay on other projects, but I don't know if I like it in this one. So yeah, yes, that's the plan for that one. Find the needles, put them back on. Oh, skein up the other skein of yarn for it. Oh no, that's already done. That's okay. This is in my one of my favourite bird bags. I love it. Which I'm afraid are not available in the shop. I know people are going to ask me that. It's just a one-off, that one, just for me. And except you might have seen that bag on Melody's podcast, and because she's got one too, but it's not fabric I can buy anymore. So I'm just saying that because I think I'm anticipating people asking me if that's going to be available in the shop. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'm going to frog it back as far as the lace, possibly add in some eyelets, maybe. Nothing complicated though, because I want this to be nice easy knitting that I can do while we're chatting, having a beer maybe. I've got to factor in the fact that I'll probably be drinking shandy most evenings while on holiday, so any knitting that I do is going to have to be really simple, not sort of taxing or complicated at all, because I'm going to end up with very wonky whips otherwise. Wonky whips. So we'll see how much I get done on that, but I would really like to have that done. It'll be a nice garment to have, or accessory to have ready to wear in the spring when we come back, because it's going to be March when we come back, and it will still be chilly here because we're in North Wales, so it takes quite a long time. You know, spring's only just going to be starting to appear. I'm still going to need something to put around my neck, definitely. So those are the 2 whips that I'm taking with me. It's possible that I might take a little bit of tiny cardigan knitting as well. and I've got something to show you on that front. I've got something to show as well, especially for Sylvia in my Ravelry group, because I told her that I would post a picture of my little Mayleg mouse in the Ravelry group, and I keep forgetting to do it. So I thought I would show the Mayleg mouse on the podcast, and hopefully if she watches the podcast, I think she does, yes she does, I don't know why I'm saying that, you can see it on the podcast, Sylvia, instead. And the little Mayleg mouse is sporting her, well, it's a whip actually, her cardigan that still has got the sleeves to be knitted, but it's another tiny cardigan. So here's my Mayleg mouse. She's got a little star t-shirt which is just sewn in onto her. There she is, she's so cute. Try and hold it really still. She's got little shorts and they actually come down, which is really cute. And that's all she was wearing when she came to me. So, in her little oh, I didn't bring her matchbox. I might go and get that. Yes, I'm going to go and get it. But I'll just show you her cardigan first. Whoops, nearly fell over again. I'm not drunk, don't worry. Okay, so this is the cardigan that I've been knitting for Mayleg. I'll do that, and then I'm hoping it's going to focus. I've knitted on the button band in garter stitch for this one, and I've been writing down the pattern as I'm going, because I'm hoping to make these into a pattern that I can put in the Etsy shop, just in case anybody else has got anything tiny that they want to knit a cardigan for. So I've done it as you would a featherweight. It's top down in the round. The sleeves are on little holders at the moment. I've got a little Heart Progress keeper that my lovely friend Leela sent me. Leela, who lives in Cornwall. I love to have something cute like that just dangling off my knitting. It's really sweet. It's just very tactile. So I've knitted this in the South Sea Pearls colourway of the Walk collection. That's the brand name of the yarn, in their Delicate Merino, which I've shown on the podcast before, with a 1.5mm higher sharp needle, or set of double pins, DPNs. So I'll be using the DPNs to do the sleeves. And it's got a 2x1 rib around the bottom. I'll show you again, just in case you didn't see it. It needs blocking. It looks a little bit lumpy and bumpy at the minute, but I'm sure when it's steam blocked, it's all going to sit really beautifully. And I've got some tiny little shell buttons. Can I get one? Like the ones that I put onto the other dolly cardie that I showed in the last podcast. Here's one. I'm keeping my buttons in my lovely teacup at the moment. I think I showed you that last time. So here are the buttons. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this very well. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, she's going to have little buttons on there as well, and they will be functional. So that's lovely. I really love the colourway of that, and I really love that yarn. It's beautiful. So she'll have a full cardigan, and I think I might make her a little dress as well. Oh, I was going to get the matchbox to show you, wasn't I, that she lives in. Actually, do you know what, I won't. I'll leave it because it's out on the landing, but she lives in a little matchbox that came with the Mayleg mouse. If you go on their website, Mayleg, it's M-A-I-L-E-G. If you just put that into your internet search engine, you'll find lots of shops that sell these beautiful little characters. There's a mice and there are rabbits, and there are even tiny ones, because I bought my niece one of these and a little tiny baby sister one. Oh, it was so cute. So I know I'm a grown woman, but I do like these cute little things. I think that's okay. So there we go, that's Mayleg and her nearly finished cardigan. And I'm thinking of taking my cardigan knitting things, tiny cardie knitting things, with me to Australia as well. That would be 3 bags of knitting. Is that a bit crazy? Possibly. But I don't want to be without knitting. So yeah, I'll be able to do a few little cardies. I'm planning on writing up that pattern properly, because at the moment it's just a little diagram with some notes in my notebook. But I'm hoping to knit that, once I've really perfected it, I'm hoping to knit that in with the same stitch counts and the same instructions of the pattern, but I think I'll knit it in some different yarn weights with different needle sizes, which will result in smaller or larger cardigans, and then block them and take out all the measurements of those cardigans and write out the pattern with all the details such as the gauge for each size. Just in case, like I say, if anybody's got any sort of small things at home, like I've got these dolls or the Mayleg mice, anything like that that you maybe want to make a little tiny cardigan for. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing the pattern for that. So the other thing I made for the Mayleg mouse, I made this last winter because I know she's not actually alive and doesn't feel the cold, but I got a bit worried in case she needed a jumper, in case she was feeling cold, which she can't because she's a toy. But I actually knitted this tiny jumper. It's really chunky yarn. It's a bit big for her. I won't put it on her because that'll take me a while, but that's basically what it looks like on. It's pretty much what it looks like when it's on her. So she's been wearing that since last year. So she's got a winter jumper and a spring cardi. Now, I don't spend like lots and lots of time during my day dressing little cloth animals and things, so don't worry. I just find it really fascinating. I just really love making them. So that's something that I'll be, I think, taking to Australia as well. I talked last time about possibly having some crochet to do on the plane. So I've done a crochet square out of that delicate merino that I showed you, and it's the same yarn as that cardigan. I've done a trial crochet square. I still haven't fully decided whether I need to take crochet on the plane with me or not. The worst that will happen as well, because I'm worried about not being allowed to take the actual tool, the hook. But it's not an expensive hook, it's just one of the plain sort of metal ones. So the worst thing is I'll just have to leave the hook at the airport and I won't be able to do any crochet. But if I do decide to take it, this might be what I'll work on. I've got a crochet square made in this delicate merino. So this is done on a 2mm, I think, hook. I think it was a 2mm. And I really love, am I showing you the back? Yes, sorry, that's the back of it. There is a difference. There's the front of it. The only thing I'm just struggling slightly with, the concept of this, is that this I would make lots and lots of these, and I've got two colourways that go really nicely together. And that would probably be sufficient crocheting for me on the plane, and then I'll probably build on that when I get back, maybe buy a few more of the colourways. And basically create a very large blanket, but it would be really, really lightweight. It's not going to be a heavy, cosy blanket, it would just be a really lightweight sort of summer throw. And it would be delicate, so it would be something I'll really want to look after and not what's the word? Subject it to any sort of hardware. Sorry. Hardware, I'm not going to hammer it. No, I'm not going to subject it to any sort of hard wearing, that's what I wanted to say. So it's a lot of work to put into something that is essentially going to be ornamental, a little bit practical but mainly ornamental. But at the same time I really love it, and I think I will absolutely love it if I do make it. So I need to do a bit more thinking about that. But if I do continue with that, that'll go in my hand luggage, and hopefully I'll be able to do some of that on the plane as well. What else have I got to show you? I was going to show you a crochet square, but I think I'll show you that next time. I want to show you something that my sister gave me quite a long time ago. Well, not that long ago, but it's something she made. My sister does felting, needle felting. She does other things as well. She's into photography. She's a really brilliant artist, so she's great at painting. She's a really talented painter and illustrator. But she's really loves her textiles too, so she's done some textile printing. She made some beautiful cushions that she's sold in a local shop very successfully. And at the moment she's really enjoying doing needle felting, and a little while back she gave me a really beautiful present. She knows I love to collect little houses, and she made me this out of needle felting. And it's 3 little felted houses and a little tree sitting on a piece of driftwood. So presumably she got that from a beach somewhere. It's really, really beautiful. And some of the other things that she makes, I'll show you the back of it, it's just plain. They're just adorable. And this sits on my windowsill, just in here in the Loopandbar room here. It's one of my favourite things because my sister made it for me. And I just love how they've all got different coloured doors and they're just tiny and really sweet. They're so beautiful. So that sits on my windowsill, and she needle felts. She's got a shop on Etsy. She hasn't got houses in the shop. She's got a couple of little robins. She's been doing birds, garden birds, lately. She's been doing little blue tits and robins, and I think she's been selling those really well. She's got, I looked on her shop just before starting the podcast to check that she's got things in there. So there's a couple of little needle felted robins. They're really cute. I think they're quite small, and each one is sitting on a little sort of piece of oak, I think, that she's got on her farm, which is a really lovely touch. And I didn't know this, but she started doing hand-painted mugs as well, so she's got a couple of nice mugs in there too. So if you want to have a look at my sister's Etsy shop, it's AnnaRichardsArt on Etsy, and I think I will link it below in this down bar here in YouTube, or if you like the look of the felted houses, although I don't think she's doing houses in the shop, if you're interested in having a look, just let me know. And no, tell you what, because I'll be on holiday, so I'll just link it down below. So just follow the link below if you want to have a look at my sister's shop. If I forget to do the link or it doesn't work, if you can find me, the Loopandbarshop on Etsy, it's in my favourite shops, so you can just search for AnnaRichardsArt in that. So hopefully she's going to make more birds, and she started doing some beautiful fossils as well, and she's on Instagram, so you can have a look at more of her work on Instagram. She's the same name. Yeah, so that's my sister's work. What else have I got to show you? I forgot to show you this in the last episode, but I have been working on another pair of treehouse mittens because I really love them. Totally addicted to knitting that pattern. I'm not sure when I'm going to get these finished, because I'm not going to take this project on holiday with me. It might be just something that I have as a project to take. You know, when you're sort of in the waiting room, if you've got an appointment, that kind of thing, or a little bit of TV knitting, because I've got so used to knitting this tree pattern now. I can easily do this in front of the TV. But here is the mitten that I've done so far. Just got to do the thumb on this one. I'll give you a close-up, hopefully. I'm just going to stand up to do that. I think if I block out the background, the camera focuses better on what I'm trying to show you. And it's got a 1x1 twisted rib, which I really love. It's my favourite. I just love knitting these, and these are for somebody else who's got slightly longer fingers than my childlike size fingers. So of the pair that I knitted for myself, I only did 4 of the tree repeats, but for this pair I've done all 5. And it's got my slightly modified version of the decreases at the top, which I explained last time I showed you, but basically it's the same amount of decreases, I just moved them to different place, so I just did them at the sides rather than all the way around, and it fitted my fingers better. It gave a slightly flatter finish to the end of the mitten. So yeah, that's that one. I just need to finish the thumb and knit the other one, and they were actually a gift for somebody, so that probably doesn't need doing now until next year, unless I get them, yeah, because they're not going to be finished now before I go on holiday, so it'll have to be a sort of, not a back burner project, but an in the background whip that can be done in plenty of time to give for next autumn, so it's a bit of a long term, just sort of lovely enjoyable little knit that's going on in the background there. So I'm going to wrap the podcast up. I don't know if there's anything else I need to talk about. I'm going to wrap the podcast up, but I'm just going to quickly show you. I've got my rucksack ready. I've got to pack. We've got to do everything. Obviously we've booked the flight. We've booked the camper van for the holiday. I've booked a few nights in a hotel and then a few nights at the first campsite that we're going to go in. That's all we've done so far. We need to get holiday insurance. Oh, we've done the visas. That's all been done electronically. We've got a little bit of currency, but we don't really need to carry that around with us. So there's not really anything to do except for pack and just make arrangements for the house. The guinea pigs are all sorted. A lovely lady who lives in a cottage on the farm, and the children that live on the farm as well, further down, are going to look after the guinea pigs. So they're going to come up every day and check on them and give them some fresh water and hay. They're going to give them a good clean out, sort of halfway through. The guinea pigs live in a greenhouse, so they're really safe and secure. They've got lots of lovely daylight and they've got lots of room to run around. And they've got a nice secure hutch inside there that they can come in and out of as they wish. So I've got the robin on the windowsill. I've had the dunnock there. I think it's a dunnock, which is lovely to see. And this morning, exciting. I know I've gone off at a tangent. I had a small flock of long-tailed tits at the bird feeder in the front garden, eating the peanuts and the fat balls, so that was really exciting. I hope I might be able to get some footage of that. Probably won't be able to include it in this podcast because I don't know if they'll be there this afternoon, but perhaps I'll pop it on Instagram at some time or include it in the next podcast in a few weeks' time. But here's the bag. I bought myself a rucksack, and basically if it can't fit in this bag, it's not coming with me on holiday. Well, and I've got a hand luggage bag for the plane, but what I can't get into here is not coming. I'm travelling light for once in my life. I usually pack loads of stuff that I don't need and end up wearing about sort of 4% of it. So I'm going to learn from that, and I'm basically just taking a few lightweight things because we're in a camper van. We're not going to have very much room. We don't want to be lugging loads of suitcases and things around, so yes. And I said I'd show you one of the books that I've got for the plane. So actually half of that space is already accounted for with my knitting. I should think. I might have to rethink that, but yeah, I'll see what I really want to take all of that stuff that I've shown you, so hopefully I can get that into that rucksack and fit my clothes and things in it as well. But I've got a book for the plane, and this is one of my favourite authors. So the book is called The Song Collector, and it's the latest book by Natasha Solomons. So here's the book. I actually received this in the post about 2 weeks ago, and I can't believe that I've been able to resist starting it because I really wanted to read it in the bath. But I bought another book as well, which I actually did start reading last night, by Esther Freud, who's another one of my favourite authors. I bought The Sea House. I've read it before, but I love it, so I'm reading that one again. So I'll have 2 books. Back again. So I'll have 2 books to take with me on holiday. Yeah, that's the thing though. I've started the Esther Freud book. So I'm going to have to yeah, that means I can't start this one now till I finish the other book, because I only ever read one book at a time. I never, not like Knitting Wits, where I've got like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, let's face it, it's 6 or 7, isn't it? Different projects on the go. I only ever read one book at a time. I finish one book before starting another, because I really get into it. I only read books that I'm really absorbed in and that I'm really enjoying reading. I'm not somebody who will start a book and then force myself to finish all the way to the end just purely because I've started it. I just think it's like knitting. If you're not enjoying it, put it down. But I know that anything that this author writes I am going to love, because I've loved all of her other novels. She's written, I think I've read 3 of her other novels, but they're not listed here, I don't think. No, I don't think she's listed them. I've read everything that she's done so far, and this one's called The Song Collector. After his beloved wife's death, the composer Harry Fox Talbot is unable to write a single note until one day he discovers his troublesome young grandson is a piano prodigy. And then it carries on to tell you more about the book. Yeah, but she's a fabulous author. I love her style. I've loved every other book that she's written. So that I'm very much looking forward to reading that. Probably on the way back, actually, but maybe on the beach as well. And maybe sort of just during some quiet times if we're just sort of relaxing while we're in the camper van, or yeah, having some nice time. Maybe if we go and see some cricket. I'll probably take knitting, actually. I don't think I'll read a book if we go and see cricket, because I'm not that interested in watching cricket, but I quite like to be there. I like the atmosphere of cricket being played, and Avion will enjoy the cricket, so I don't know if I'll take a book or if I'll do some knitting, but anyway, that's part of my luggage. That's going in my bag, so I better put it on the Australia pile. I think I have showed you everything that I wanted to show you today. So I will just say goodbye, and I will see you in the spring if you're in the UK or this sort of half of the world. I suppose for everybody else in the other half of the hemisphere, no, in the other hemisphere, it will be, what will it be? The opposite season to the spring, the autumn. But I'll be back here in the spring with episode 22 of the podcast, and hopefully with more time to devote to the Etsy shop and more things to put in it, and possibly another cow, but maybe a little bit further on into late spring, early summer maybe. Yeah, so we'll have a think about that when I get back off my holiday. So I wish you all a very lovely week and month. I hope to keep in touch with some of you on Ravelry if Wi-Fi works and my laptop is okay once it's travelled all the way to Australia. So hopefully I'll be dipping in and out of Ravelry and still be a little bit in touch, but probably mostly just be driving around Australia enjoying the beautiful, lovely sights. So I'll try and take lots of photographs as well, so I'll have something to share with you about that when I get back. So have a lovely week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you when I get back from my holiday. Bye bye. I've got a little PS. I totally forgot the Welsh word I mentioned earlier, and said that I would be inserting a little bit of footage, so I'll do that in a second. And it's going to be Avion saying the Welsh word for the podcast. It was a suggestion by one of my lovely viewers, Denise Schultz, who you might know from the Knitting Den podcast. So hi Denise, and thank you for the sort of fun suggestion of the Welsh word. She asked me whether I'm able to pronounce the name of the longest town, or I think it's a large village, or I don't know, it's a large village or a small town, in Anglesey, which is about an hour away from me. It's the village with the railway station to this village has got the longest single word name for the railway station, and obviously that means that the town is also called that. And it's, according to the website, it's got the longest, see if I can get this right, the longest single word place name in the world, I think. So, and I can't actually say it, which is why I'm asking Avion. It's kind of his party trick a little bit. He can say it really well, so I am going to, but he's on the farm at the moment, so he can't come in right now and be actually in the podcast, but I'm going to do a quick recording of him saying it and just insert it in here. So all I can do is pronounce the first half and the last half of the place name, but I think what I'll do is I won't even attempt it, I'll leave it to the expert. So we have a lovely town in Anglesey, or should I say on Anglesey, which is in an island off the west coast of Wales, and it is called
Llanfair Pwll Gwyngyll go Gerris Gwyndropwys Llantysilio go Goch.
So hopefully you just saw Avion there pronouncing that expertly, and I'll challenge you to have a go at saying it. You could Google it. I think what I'll do is I'll probably edit into the bit where Avion says it. I'll write it as it's written, because it's impossible. It's actually impossible to read even if you know how to read Welsh. So yeah, there you go, there's the Welsh word for the episode. I hope you enjoyed that. It doesn't mean anything other than, well actually I don't know if it means anything, I didn't look into it, but as far as it's not a word for an object, so I'm not going to translate it. I don't know if you can translate it. It's simply a place name, but it's the longest place name, single place name in the world, so single word place name in the world. I can't even say that. No wonder I can't say the place name. So anyway, I will definitely leave you now and wish you a lovely week. And yeah, thank you for staying around and watching the rest of the podcast. Okay, bye.